What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're finally taking a look at Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 here, starting off with the Legion Go. Man, this game's had a rough launch and I couldn't get on it for the first couple of days, and when I did first get on it, performance was pretty rough, and only now am I able to actually get in and get some playable performance out of the game and check it out. So I want to show you what I'm doing here with settings and what we're getting for some performance in some areas, and you'll be able to check out some gameplay as well. Now, as far as getting into the settings, I'm not really going to do a whole lot when it comes to like 1200p or higher settings because the game is very tough to run right now. I will show some 1200p though and some medium, but we're starting off with 800p, FSR2 on quality, and the low end preset. Now, there's a lot you can do down through these settings to customize this how you want and really tweak things some more, but for simplicity I went with the low end preset, and in a little bit we'll take a look as well at the medium preset, but this will give you a general idea anyway. But a ton of settings that you can tweak and adjust for performance. But getting into that, 800p low end preset, 25 watts for our TDP, 4 gigs of VRAM, which works fine for this game, FSR2 quality. Completely depending on where you're at in this game is going to depend on your performance. I'm anywhere from 25 FPS all the way up into the 50s, completely depending on where I'm at and what I'm doing. Now we'll go in here and make a few changes and see what performance is like. One thing I did want to show you really quickly is the 1200p. So keeping all the other settings the same, going to 1200p, we would have to use more FSR, and even at that it's really not great. You may as well go with the 800p and some FSR. And performance, while doable sometimes in the 30s, it does want to dip into the 20s more often in a lot of different areas and gets pretty janky later on. So for the most part, even though it looks a little better on the screen, 1200p is not a great way to go, at least for now anyways. It's at 25 watts or so. Docked 1080p, 25 to 30 watts though, probably work all right. But handheld, I think for now anyway, 800p is the way to go there, and it looks fine on the screen here on the Go as well. The game looks great even on the lower settings. But switching back over to that 800p on the low end preset here, back up into our 40s or so, at least in this area, and bouncing around. So it works out pretty well here. Still the occasional stutter and stuff. You do have to have an online connection here. We are still streaming a lot of data from the servers, and it's kind of a hybrid local server style game. So we'll go in here and switch things over to medium just to show you really quickly on 800p here. And this is where performance will start to drop off even more. And I've tried this in other areas as well, and it does get pretty rough down into the 20s or worse sometimes depending on where you're at. So unfortunately, at least for now, medium's not the way to go. Low end works fine, maybe a manual tweaking in between that. But yeah, you're gonna have to keep things pretty low if you want to try to maintain 30 and above, at least for a majority of your time with playing here. So we'll go back to that low end preset, and that'll bring us into pretty much the settings I'm using to kind of go around and get my legs under me when it comes to Microsoft Flight Simulator 24 and see what it's like on this system and the other handhelds that I'm testing it on as well. But ultimately it is playable. I'm going to leave you guys with some gameplay. You can check out some different areas and see what it's looking like. Some of it's pretty good, some of it drops, but you'll see it in there. So anyways, thanks a lot for coming and check out the video as always. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.